Hello, what's up, everybody? This is Ambika Deshmukh, and you have tuned in the Ambika Deshmukh podcast. Welcome to the Ambika Deshmukh podcast. Today, we are diving into something that often leaves us both proud and puzzled: Indian ancient technologies as a subject as old as time. And yet, somehow, in the realm of politics, we are still waiting for the wheel to turn, or should I say, Wi Fi to connect the parliament. Let's talk about what makes India fascinating, not just its diversity, food, or jugaad spirit, but its mind blogging ancient tech. You know, back when our ancestors were building spaceships out of their thoughts, and today we struggle to get portals filled without the help of Twitter outrage. So let us go back to the Vedic period, a time where concept of flying machines or vimanas were apparently all rage. I mean, we are talking about flying things zooming through the skies when elsewhere in the world people were probably still trying to figure out which side of rock was sharper. Imagine outrage of social media back then. Hashtag ban Vimans. Too much air pollution, man. And of course, we cannot forget Ayurveda, an ancient medical science. While modern medicines can barely handle a pandemic without a political blame games, Ayurveda had remedies for diseases we didn't even know existed. Like they knew we'd need some more than a political manifesto to survive. Talk about a healthcare system that worked without needing 15 tenders and government committee to approve an aspirin. Or take the legendary iron pillar of Delhi and ancient Marwar metallurgy. This rust-resistant kerosene-proof pillar stands tall, defining both time and logic. Can you imagine our modern-day governments could build something this durable? Instead, we are lucky if bridge stays standing long enough to cut the ribbon. And don't even get me started on potholes, man. Maybe we should start using same iron from this pillar to make our roads. Now you have got to appreciate the ancient Indian expertise in water management systems. Things like stepwells, canals and advanced irrigation. It's ironic that we had such sophisticated systems thousands of years ago. Yet today we can't figure out how to stop a city from flooding after a 15-minute rain shower. Perhaps our ancestors knew how to avoid flood diplomacy. You know, where one state blames another for excess water. Speaking of water, ancient Indians were experts in building dams too. And here we are debating whether we need to build more or less. Depends on which election cycle we are in. Promise the dam but don't build it. Seems to be a motto. If only our ancestor had left behind a guidebook called Dams for Dummies, Politician Edition. And then there's the ancient Indian knowledge of astronomy. We had scholars like Aryabhatta calculating the Earth's circumferences and predicting eclipses when the rest of the world was still convinced the Earth was flat. And now we are watching people argue whether we should spend money on space exploration or on distributing free TVs. Priorities, right? In the end, Indian ancient technology is a testament to innovation, brilliance, and yes, maybe a bit of magic dust. But I wonder if our ancestors were alive today, would they be astonished or just straight up disappointed in what we have done with their legacy? We went from building the world's first university at Nalanda to, well, let's just say we are debating which syllabus to follow. That's it for today's episode of the Ambika Deshmukh podcast. Thanks for tuning in to this whirlwind journey through ancient Indian technologies with a side of sarcasm, of course. Remember, we may not have Vimans anymore, but at least we have got Twitter to fly our complaints into. Catch you up next time. Thank you for tuning in. I am Ambika Deshmukh signing off. Ta-da!